Hello there, everybody. My name is Robertta. I almost said Achieng. Robertta Achieng. It's because I'm joined with another Achieng today here on set. Tracy is a childhood friend. Can I say that?
Yes.
Were we childhood friends
We grew up
or
in the
acquaintances?
we grew up in the same neighborhood, so our experiences are the same. So
Oh.
we can say,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. So today I'm joined with a guest, and today we're going to talk about sickle cell anemia. Last month, September, is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, where, we have this education going on much more. We're having conversations around sickle cell. For some reason, you were not able to join us last month for a conversation. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I want to dive into what sickle cell is, your experiences with sickle cell, how you're navigating life through it, what it even means or what it looks like, what are the differences between like you've been telling me, a genetic issue from a chronic issue that you get later on in life. Those are all the things we'd like to discuss today. But before that, ningependa guest wangu introduce Madam Tracy Achieng, very beautiful lady who I have known almost all my life now, and I'm happy you're here to join us today. Karibu sana, Tracy.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling vibrant. I always dress according to how I want to feel, to influence how I want to feel, or how I wake up feeling. So as you can see, I'm very vibrant today.
That's nice. Where do you get that top? When I saw you walk in, that's the first thing I thought about. I need this top. So where can I cop one?
So this top was made by, we have a brand called Kit Mickey.
Oh,
so
wow.
Kit Mickey was a brand that was started by my sister Kiki. So that's the K-I part. Then T is Tracy. Then we have our cousin Mercy. So that's why it's called Kit Mickey. And it's fashionable, but also functional. So one of the things that really affect us as persons with sickle cell disease is the weather. So if it's warm, na slay. So when it's cold, I'm able to cover up. It
Oh,
becomes
wow.
like
Okay, fashion. It's like you're on the runway.
Yeah.
I love it. So how do you guys come up with these designs? And is the brand still active?
Yes, it's still active. You can get us even on Instagram. We not only do like fashionable brands for like maybe events or weddings or whatever. We also do corporate branding like for T-shirts, books, notepads. But also we do for uniforms, the chef's uniforms, school uniforms. So it goes all the way, yeah.
One-stop shop for all your needs.
Yeah.
I love that. So Tracy, I want us to dive right into the sickle cell discussion. And forgive me if some of my questions might come off ignorant. It's just that I want to ask you questions from a perspective of someone who knows nothing about anything that we're going to discuss today, so that I'm able to ask all the questions that the audience might be thinking, even if it's stupid or... I don't think there's any stupid question, but you know what I mean, yeah?
Those stupid questions are the ones that we like, because those are the ones that get deep into, the misconceptions that people have, the stigmas, and all of that, yeah.
Okay.
So bring them on.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. So I'll start with the first question. Sickle cell ni nini? What is sickle cell? What does it mean? What is it?
So there's now the science definition of sickle cell, which basically it is a genetic condition. A genetic condition is one that you get from your lineage or your parents. So your parents have to be a carrier of the sickle cell gene for someone to be born with sickle cell. So a carrier is AS. So both parents, if they are AS, you remember the cross?
Yes. Zilikuwa zinaitwa hizo vitu za biology.
I don't know if it's cross-linking or whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so some children will be born AS, some will have AS, SS, or AA, which is normal. So for me, I'm SS, meaning I got both the S genes from my parents. Yes.
Okay, so what does being a carrier mean?
So being a carrier, that means you have the gene in you. You are AS. So basically, you're not affected with the condition in any way. You're just living life normally. Like, I can give an example. Have you seen, like, Some children who have some conditions like, let's say, dwarfism, or maybe they are albinos, that doesn't mean that their parents are dwarfs or albinos. It means that their parents probably were carriers of the gene and they did not know, and they ended up finding themselves that they're having children with certain characteristics. So that's just how it is. For sickle cell, it's like a disability. It is a disability, but a disability of the blood.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. I've never thought about it as a disability of the blood, but we'll get into that, so how we can see how it affects your life on a day-to-day basis and why it can be termed as a disability. But let's go from the beginning. So your parents are both carriers of sickle cell.
Yes, they're both carriers of the gene.
Of the gene.
Yes.
That can give the product sickle cell.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so how do they become carriers?
It's just something in their blood. Yeah. So you see, when it comes to what is it called? Adaptation. When the human is kind of evolving, so there's this thing that is called natural selection. So sickle cell, you'll mostly find it in areas or communities living in areas with either a large water body or a rainforest area.
Yes.
So this means like around Congo, you'll find a lot of sickle cell. In Nigeria, as you know, there's a lot of sickle cell because those are rainforest areas. In Kenya, along
the Lake
Victoria,
Basin?
yes, even Turkana, and even in
the coast
Kwale,
region.
yes, you find persons have that condition. And it is said that it was an adaptation against malaria, because if you are AS, then you're less likely to get malaria because the nature of your cells, they're not complete disc-shaped. You remember malaria used to eat implants on top of the red blood cell?
Yes.
Yes. So now if you're AS, you're less likely to get malaria. Yes.
The body is so crazy. So the body is saying no malaria, but here's a new set of things. So it's making you strong in this side and then this side. Okay, that is interesting. So do you think your parents knew that they were carriers?
No,
prior
they did
to
not know.
Okay.
They did not know that they were carriers. However, if you look at our clan or family tree or relatives, you'll find that there are some who are affected by sickle cell. Back then, they did not know this is sickle cell. Probably they just thought, this one, anaumwa na mwili, or the children in this home, they keep dying early, or they don't generally understand. But right now, you find that people understand more what sickle cell is. Because back then, to get a genotype test, your blood had to be taken and transported via air to another country, like maybe in Europe, for it to be tested.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now, there are actually no excuses because you're able to do a genotype test here in Kenya.
Is it affordable? Is it easily accessible?
Now, that's the other issue. It's not really that affordable. I think maybe if you go to like Kenyatta, it's around 5,000 to 7,000.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
However, that's why even one of the projects that I'm doing with Crimson Courage is #KnowYourGenotype. So we partner with, especially I've partnered with Rotary clubs. So I partnered with Rotary Club of Karen. Also in Diani, they were able to buy an affordable genotype test that is called Hemex Health. So with that, you're able to charge affordably, like just 1,500 to do a test. So knowing your genotype is actually supposed to be like, before you get married, how you want to check for HIV.
That's what
or
I'm
whatever.
thinking.
Yes. So you're supposed to know your genotype. If you've decided to have children with someone or you're dating, having an unprotected sex, you're supposed to know your genotype. That is your responsibility.
This is a human thing, not for sickly people. This is everyone needs to know their genotype.
Needs to know their genotype. And right now, it's not just about if you come from a certain area.
Yes.
No, as you know, we've had a lot of rural to urban migration. So a lot of people in Nairobi are carriers, and they're ending up having children with sickle cell. And they're like, I didn't know this thing was in our family. So you need to know your genotype. Every person needs to know their genotype. Invest in yourself, by knowing your genotype. Yeah, so that when you're dating someone, you know how Kenyans like to ask, so what do you do?
What's your favorite color?
No, you should not ask that. Ask, do you know your genotype? That's the question that will guarantee a future.
Because this is life and death, basically. It's like you're choosing a life of, are you ready for medical emergencies throughout your life? Or, I'm not saying other people who don't get the test won't get such issues, but that's a really good point that you brought up. So Tracy, paint for me what your childhood is like. So now you're born, you're coming into a life where you have sickle cell. When was the first time you realized what was happening and that you had it and that you're living through it? Was it like a talk that you had? Because I'm guessing by this time maybe your parents had found out, but just paint for me a picture of that.
Okay, so for me, I was lucky. From when I was really young, I used to go to Aga Khan Hospital. So I've always had an inquisitive...
sauce.
So at least I had the medical cover that was needed to at least manage my condition on a regular. Get regular checkups and, check-ins with the doctor. So I used to sit there and listen and see, my mom is very serious. The doctor is very serious. They're saying sickler. Okay, I always fall sick. So what is this? So I started figuring it out early. But I can't really remember anyone sitting me down and telling me this is what it is. It was just, my inquisitive mind. Mimi nimsomi. Yeah, so I just kind of found out what it is. And looking even at my symptoms, I'm like, yeah, sometimes I'm in pain. A lot of times I'm in hospital, people in class. But my parents were the kind that you have to go to school. So let's say if I was in pain at night, I only have grace maybe to rest in the morning. Then after that, if need be, I go to the hospital. Then if I can, of which most times, after. Yes, I go to class after. I was that student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this was your parents' attempt at trying to maintain a very normal life without making you feel like something is wrong or you're different? Or what do you think was going through their minds?
Yeah, of course, as a child, you just want to stay home and watch cartoons. But mostly
valid that, you are in pain. See, you've just decided you want to stay home and watch cartoons. You were actually sick last night.
Okay, let me tell you something. You see, your upbringing, any person's upbringing is according to the people around you. No child decides their upbringing. So if the reaction about you having sickle cell is like, aki wo ye nini nini, that's the kind of environment you have. But if I know that, yes, I can be in pain, go to hospital, then after that, maybe I get a treat, like chipo, and then I go back to class, that's my normal. At least now I don't have to feel sorry for myself and be kept out of school because of this and that. No.
That's actually really genius, because they're not only shaping like who you are, your mentality as well. Okay, that's nice. Okay, endelea sasa, keep painting for me your childhood.
Yeah, so that's how it was. And I think in school, people, of course, knew I have sickle cell.
Who told them?
I think my parents, they had to tell the teachers and, the lady who picks us up with the school bus and all of that. So it was just normal. They're used to it that, I have sickle cell. Sometimes I forget things. They have to send it to me in school. I carry water to always keep hydrating, to help my cells. I have to keep warm. So those are the things that were normal for me. Don't wear just one sweater in the morning. I wear two. I don't wear just normal socks that go up to the ankle. I wear up to the knee. And that was just normal for me. But I remember in primary school, it was not really that hard for me. I did not face any stigma from, kids in my class and all of that.
How were they treating you? Did you feel like you were different and like something was different?
Yes. Something was definitely different about me. And at that point, I was kind of introverted. I was that smart kid who was always number 1, 2, 3. At least the respect was there for that.
Hey, only chopi. Hakukuwa shule last week, lakini exams.
Exams ako tu hapo mbele.
Yeah.
So I remember the only time I used that card, You know, there's that card.
Oh, yeah, because you can. Because you can.
I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I usually see on social media there is a guy who has a certain disability. So whenever he tries to pay for food at restaurants, they always refuse.
Like, why would we charge you?
Yes, so they always refuse. And he has the money in hand, but they always refuse. So for me in class 8, at that time, there was this corporal punishment. So this is early 2000s, mid 2000s. So I remember just going up to my teacher and told my teacher, you know, I always pass these exams. Even if I'm failing, maybe I'm missing just one question or two. And at that point, you remember, ukipata 98 ndo ulikuwa unachapwa more.
Yes.
More than even the person who
shule
got
tulienda
60.
tusiwataje lakini sawa tu.
So I went ahead and told them, you know, I have a certain condition and please just exempt me from all these canings because they're not helping me in any way.
If
so
anything, they're
I
making
used
you
card.
worse.
Yes.
Lakini mbona mtu achape mtu ako na sickle cell like jameni, even on a normal day. I don't think you you used it in a bad way. I think it was proper.
Yeah, because it was a lot. Do you remember
It was too much. One day, maybe you can come back and we will unpack. We should actually talk about the horrors we went through in that school. But, okay, so now you're becoming an adult, a young adult, adolescent. There are changes. Now you're in high school. So how is sickle cell affecting your life in this moment?
Well, in high school now you start feeling different. You start feeling the pressure, you know, because you just want to be like everyone else. Yeah, so I would notice that some have noticed a certain character in me. That, you know, this one is sick, this one has sickle cell, blah, blah, blah. And actually, I felt validated after high school because there's a certain schoolmate that called me. They're like, this is Tracy. I'm like, yeah, but I don't remember you. Then they explained to me they're in this class, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm like, but I don't think you should be knowing me since you've described the class you are in and all of that. Then she was like, everyone knew you. So you had sickle cell. You know. Everyone knew I have sickle cell.
That's what they knew you for?
Yes, apparently everyone knew me because I had sickle cell.
Was it something you had said outright? You told people, hey, this is what I'm going through?
No.
Okay, so how did they come to that? Were you consistently sickly? What is it? Where is it coming from?
I think maybe sometimes having to go and, you know, get treatment, but generally tu ni udaku.
Yeah, because it's such a big word. I kind of that's the girl with sickle cell.
Yeah.
And then there's this rumor. Is it a rumor or a misconception? There's this thing that people are I know what I'm gonna say before I say it. This thing people say, you know, when you have sickle cell, you don't reach a certain age. By 18, you know, you're gonna die. You're gonna whatever. All these things. So are these things you were hearing growing up? Or even amongst, you know, the people around, even in the health system. Is it something you were hearing at that time?
It's not something that I was hearing, but it's something that I read about in our biology book, Form 2. I'll never forget page 18. There's a paragraph about sickle cell, and that is what it said, that we don't make it past a certain age. And you remember I was a studious student, number one, especially sciences, history, those were my subjects. So I had read ahead. So I remember just having that fear of now when my classmates get to this point of reading that, what will they think about me? So it's that awareness.
You already knew it's coming in the... Hey,
yes, because I've read ahead.
So your textbook, sangapi?
Kwani mtashinda introduction hadi siku gani? So I'm just perusing then I was like, wow, this is a different kind of awareness.
Were you thinking it was accurate? What was going through your mind as you're reading this? This is the textbook that is standard for every student in Kenya.
Yes.
At that level.
Yeah.
So what are you were you smart, aware enough to understand this is a lie, or is this true? What were you going through in that moment?
Yeah, it's a science book, but at the same time, I'm like, I know it can't be true. But it's the fact that the information is out there in the book. So maybe...
people went through it and edited and still published this statement.
So I'm like, maybe they never wanted to tell me. But maybe also I don't think it's true. because now this is a fact that you're being injected about you. So, there's now that 50-50. So honestly, I remember from there, I didn't really have a lot of aspirations of, wedding, job. I just started having that aspect of just living life for fun for now. Yeah, I could not wait to go into uni and party and do all those things. Yeah.
Do you think that was a positive impact? Or did it just kind of make you feel, okay, well, there goes my dreams now. I don't need to dream bigger than this because in 5 years I won't be here.
Looking back at it, it was sad. But thinking of it right now, I just didn't know the awareness. I just did not know.
Okay.
Yes. So I just lived life according to what I know. Yeah.
So now how is the dynamics between your family, your nuclear family, and how many siblings do you have?
So I had a sister. She passed away in January. She also had sickle cell. Then a brother. He doesn't have sickle cell. Yeah.
So what's the dynamics like at home? How do you guys tackle the discussion of sickle cell? I asked that because I was going to ask. So now you're in high school. Has anyone at this point decided to tell you, hey, Tracy, uko na sickle cell, this is what is up? Ama bado wewe unaishi tu life ukijuanga indo normal yangu na kaende.
I just know I'm supposed to be drinking water. I know I'm supposed to be eating greens. I don't push those greens to the side. Try and, swallow them, even though they're bitter herbs. I used to call them bitter herbs. So, yeah, I knew what I was supposed to do, but we never really had those sit-downs and talking about sickle cell and all of that, because I knew from the doctor's office and the appointments, Tracy, do this, Tracy, do that. I knew from home, when it's cold, dress warmly. Are you drinking your water? Have you taken your medicine? But there was not really that sit-down.
How come, though?
I think it's just life going on, living life. Yes, living life. Maybe the life challenges and all of that. You're just moving one step at a time. You don't want to create a problem out of something. Yes, that's not a problem.
Are you the firstborn?
Yes, I'm the firstborn. Then my sister was the secondborn, the middle child. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We'll come back to your sister. Nstaki kwanza kulia saizi. Tumeanza tu podcast saizi. But, okay, so now post high school, you go to uni. Now, how is before uni, how do you think you being is it sickler? Is it a word?
Warrior.
What does sickler mean?
It's a term that's used in hospital to describe persons with sickle cell because we are prone to falling sick. We always get infections and such because if your blood is always breaking down,
yes,
your body is always in inflammatory mode.
Yes.
So it's easy for you to get an infection. Yes.
Is that the opportunistic diseases?
I'm not sure.
Zile zenye zinakuja juu uko na shida moja. Like, sasa kwa sababu blood yako haifanyi kazi vizuri, unaweza pata infection easier, unaweza pata malaria easier, unaweza pata sijui nini easier. Do you think that's what it is?
Yes, that's true. So you find that there are certain conditions that really go with sickle cell. For example, there's something called acute chest syndrome. So this happens when now you're getting a painful crisis on your chest. There's also issues of like maybe having bone damage. This is when a sickle cell crisis or hemolysis happens around your certain joints and it's getting less supply of blood. So you might find some sickle cell warriors have gotten hip replacement. Then if it happens a lot, maybe in a particular organ, can cause organ damage. So it's just like a plumbing or piping issue. Wherever your blood goes and blocks up, there'll be an issue. So there's even that issue of getting stroke. Yeah. Because if it goes up to your brain and clamps up there, and then for maybe a second, a certain part doesn't get blood supply, you'll get a stroke. And it's sickle cell anemia because you see, if our blood is breaking down a lot, we are constantly anemic.
Yeah.
Yes. So if your brain is not getting enough blood supply because you're anemic, you get a stroke. If your organ is not getting enough blood supply because you're anemic, organ damage. Yes, if it's happening in your bone because it's not getting enough oxygen because you're anemic, bone damage. So that's how it goes. Then also there's another complication that I really don't like. You can develop wounds on your legs, on the lower ends of your legs.
Why?
And there are wounds that are not healing.
Why?
Because you're anemic, the blood flow is not getting there. So if you get a wound there, it becomes like an ulcer. It refuses to heal.
Yeah.
Because already it's not getting enough nutrients. Like, the amount of nutrients your blood is giving, like maybe this area, is definitely more than by the point the blood gets to the legs from the heart. You understand?
Yes.
So now it becomes a complication.
Talk to me about the pain crisis. What's that? And what does that look like? What does it mean?
It's painful. That's what I can tell you. It's very painful. In the pain ranges, I've seen that people say, or it's out there with research, that a painful crisis is more painful than getting your bone broken. A painful crisis is more painful than the experiences someone gets at birth. So it's very painful.
And this is just the normal life of someone who is living with sickle cell anemia.
Yes. So imagine a child who is like 5 years, but they have managed to get pain that is as much as that of a woman who's given birth. Yes, that's how.
So that's what the pain crisis is. What did you say it's called?
A painful crisis.
Painful crisis.
Yes.
And how often is this happening? Is it something you can gauge and say, it happens once a month, or is it just very sporadic, can catch you anytime, anywhere, any day after however long?
Well, sickle cell affects the blood. And as you know, even in any regular person, the blood determines a lot.
Yes.
Even the emotions. You can go into a room and say, damu yangu ijapenda mtu, or, something has just told me to leave that place. So that means even one of the triggers of a sickle cell crisis is stress. Yes. So if you're in a stressful situation, or you don't even understand about mental health, how will you be able to manage with all of this? That means probably you're getting a painful crisis every month.
Yes.
Or every 2 weeks you're in pain.
The more stress that is occurring, the more triggers for a possible pain crisis.
Yes. And then also now there's other issues. Like, let's say if you're severely anemic, your red blood cell count is low, probably you're getting a lot of sickle cell crisis. So if you're not taking your medication like folic acid, hydroxyurea, which helps with the production of blood, probably you're getting a lot of painful crisis.
Yes.
And infections. So it depends on patient to patient. Yes, how it affects you. So some you'll find, as I said, maybe they have bone damage, they had to get a hip replacement. Some had delayed development or adolescence, so you might find they're really short. Some have a lot of jaundice, like me. For me, that's my only characteristic. So it depends on patient to patient. Some have gotten stroke. It can be very extreme, or and you cannot know. You cannot know when the boogeyman will come.
Stressed. Hata vile nimeka hapa, niko stressed. Because I'm trying to think then, what is it like for an adolescent woman who is poor and is having her period? How is she handling having sickle cell?
Yeah, periods create anemia. And they're those ones who get very painful periods. So you're correct to say that periods actually affect persons with sickle cell, whereby you can get a painful crisis.
Yes.
So even up to adulthood, they're those ones who get really affected by their menstrual cycle. Yes. So that means right before you get your periods, you have to now anchor down, make sure your nutrition is good, you're not missing your meals, you're not missing your medication. You have to just take care of yourself.
Tracy, what does taking care of yourself look like? Because this is seeming almost impossible. Now I'm even wondering how you're seated here across next to me, because how are you How are you showing up for... Niko na swali 60s nataka kutoka at the same time. I'm very stressed. Okay.
Don't be stressed. Inhale and exhale. Don't be stressed, because if I'm not stressed, yes, don't be stressed.
It's just, I'm thinking about the privilege of having to go through life without, having to think about all these things. Because now it's like everything that you do in life is affected by, you have to think about the fact that you live with sickle cell anemia. So tell me, what is dating life for you now? Now umetoka uni. No, let's go back to uni. Ulikuwa umesema lazima have fun na upati na ujibambe.
Vibaya tena sana.
So what was that like? And how are you handling that? Because can you take alcohol? Can you have sex? What's your dating life looking like as a pre-post during university life?
So when you're young or around, those 20s, early 20s and late teens, there's this tragedy called FOMO. You remember FOMO?
Karibu tumalize.
Karibu tumalize. So mimi nitabaki nyuma kweli?
Aje?
No, singebaki nyuma.
Yeah.
So I used to really love going out with my friends. And my friends who had great party life were in USIU. And I was in Catholic University. So, as you know, USIU
travel.
The party starts on Thursday.
Yes. Pale tots. Sijui kama bado tots hiko.
So I had to make sure all my classes at least end around Thursday. Because now I have to go party with the cool kids in USIU.
Yes.
So, ilikuwa inaniramba sometimes. Where I'd have to call my mom and tell her I'm in pain. Just come for me. And she knew, hostel, my friend at USIU. Ilikuwa inaitwa White and Blue. I think
Blue and White.
Blue and White, yeah. So that's how my lifestyle was like. I would just go for it. If I meet someone, tuna travel kesho Mombasa, tuende. Kwani nabaki nikifanya nini?
Because you have to be present and intentional and live life, because there's this... Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you have this fear now of that death being an impending... When you're doing things, are you thinking, I might die, I could die, this could lead to death? Do you think that was a factor that was...
So for me, as I told you, painful crisis, it's like going through torture. So how you come out of torture depends on your mentality. So for me, I had that mentality of, now I'm sick. But after
sherehe,
after nimemaliza kukua mgonjwa, ama after I've finished this period of taking antibiotics or whatever, I'm going to do this and this. I'm going to live my life to the fullest. If I get a chance to party, I'll party. If I get a chance to travel, I'll travel. If I get a chance to hang out with friends, I'll hang out with friends. So it didn't get me into depression, because that pain for me, I have a survivor mindset. It's too much for me to come out of it and then again I'm like, oh yeah.
After umefanya kazi yote.
Then oh yeah again, no. So that's how I was living my life. Yes. I would go out with friends. I would enjoy, I would party. But of course, there's that consequence. Na ujui itakupata lini. Maybe you went out in heels and a short dress.
Yes.
Now you're getting painful crisis in your back. You understand? Or you wore a bra that's too tight. I'm a bandage dress that's too tight. Now you're having pains around here. You understand?
Yes. And what's the pain like? Is it like a headache? Is it my arm is aching? What's the pain like?
Because
I hope that you are enjoying that episode, people of the internet. Everybody says there is no job. And that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their own town, in their own city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs. Mothers call uncles, uncles call fathers, but there are no jobs, right? Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them. I have worked for a long time online, I think more than 10 years. I work for Americans, I work for Europeans, I work for the Chinese, the Australian, Canadians, the Ugandans, name all of them. And last year, I had a eureka moment. I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I have been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a book called Gold Mine, 18 Side Hustles for Africans. And it sold a lot of copies. In fact, I was going for, sometimes I was receiving 500 orders in a day. In 2025, something happened. AI came. I think in 2025, AI came. AI came in 2024, but in 2025, it is here with us. And people say AI is taking away their jobs. And for me, I'll say false. There are actually AI jobs. Na mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. We now have in my book 25 online and offline side hustles that you can do anywhere in the world, whether you are in the village, whether you are in your small town, whether you're in a marketplace, whether you are in your house, you can do them. In this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance, drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I have made and lessons I have learned over 15 years in this online job market. You can become an executive assistant to busy folks in Europe, America, and Canada. You can also get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. There are many of them and they're in my book. You can also build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce without a shilling. You can also become an affiliate marketer or an online English tutor. And you can also do tens of AI jobs, and they're all in these books. If you have a job, that is fine, but I know around you there are so many people that are always looking for jobs and at home watching Netflix. Buy this book for your brother, for your sister, for your mother, cousin, husband, who is back at home all day, all night watching Netflix. Okay? Buy it for your friend, that friend who is always asking you for cash, you can buy this book for them. All the information is in the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or you can go to my website, which is oduorjagero.co.ke. The book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. Or if you're anywhere around the world, the book is $10. So thank you very much. Back to programming.
Now it's the blood that's causing you to have this pain. So the pain is not in the muscle. The pain is not in the bone.
Iko tu uko ndani.
Yani ni pain tu imekupossess. You feel like possessed by pain.
Yeah.
But how I would describe it, like if it's caught you in the joints, have you ever hit like your knee on the corner of a coffee table? That's how it feels like.
So you're feeling this pain consistently for a while?
Yes, you're feeling it consistently for a while. So let's say it's acute chest syndrome. When I was younger, I used to get it a lot on my chest. So that
what triggers that? What happens? Is it when the blood may block huku kwa chest?
Yes, blood may block huku kwa chest, or maybe, I don't know, you're exposed to the cold or something like that. So for me, I would feel it like a pain that moves. So let's say it started here. Breathing is hard. I can't take deep breaths. So I'm breathing shallowly. Like
kidogo.
Yeah, ni uchungu. So that pain moves. It used to move for me, like move from here, 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 here. So I know at least I can approximate. By Friday, it's a kind
I love your outlook on life. You're just thinking, where is the next sherehe? I must feel good.
Yeah. You have to look ahead. You have to, in life, you have to look forward to something.
Yes.
Even if your pain has gotten you to the level of where you're looking forward to sherehe or something, look forward to it. Always have something to look forward to, because now that means you are creating value for yourself.
You're living.
Yes.
Yeah. And your friends, were they affected by you being sick? How was it for them? Even now, not just when you were younger. Do you think it affects the people around you? You know, how people treat you? Do you think people treat you differently, or people are weird? Because sasa hata siezi kuhat feelings. Itanimaliza. Nikijua unaweza enda mahali uko na painful crisis, I'm gonna be so sad. So how are you navigating friendships and dating during that time and up to now?
So early on, I had to realize that how people treat you is not about you. It's about them. So that really impacted me, whereby if someone does something bad to me, just think, they must be a really bad person. Yeah, so for me, that's just how I coped with it. And when it comes to friendships, I'm a person who keeps friends for long. I'm a person, if someone, this is my friend, they'll be my friend like 10 years from now. So I'm really told that I know how to keep relationships. And that's because if I see that you're not aligned, I drop you very fast. I drop you very fast, even in relationships. If you're not aligned, I drop you very fast. I always say, I'd rather be at home under my duvet watching Netflix.
Yes.
Rather than being stressed by anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just having that value of not being afraid to be by myself. I'm never afraid to be by myself. I'd rather be with the right person or by myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think this is coming from how your parents raised you? Because I feel like they did such a good job at making sure you understand this is normal life. They didn't make you, correct me if I'm wrong again, they didn't make you feel like, you're different, something is wrong with you. Like, we tu ni mtu normal, unaende class, ufanye vitu normal zenye watu wanafanya. Yes. And then, it kind of, as you become more aware, you start to realize like how precious you actually showing up means. Like, you just coming out to a night with us means so much more than it would for me. Unajua mi ndaoga nipake makeup nitoke, wewe unafikiria, might I get sick after this? Will it attack me when I'm there? So, do you think this is in tune with how your parents raised you, or are you just a really, really smart girl who always figures things out on your own?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
That when I was younger, being normalized that despite this, you have to achieve. Lazima ulete report card mzuri. But also looking at it from my own angle, yes, it's just my own mindset because I'm set to be very, hardcore, goal-oriented. So, for example, if I know I'm going to go out in the evening, I'm not going to overextend myself or overexert myself during the day because that's now my goal.
Yes.
Yes, I have to now look at the goal of what I'm going to do. So in everything all around, I had to look at the goal. Are these fights worth having? Is this someone that I need to be in front of? Will they be there 2 years from now? And even if they are there, what's the point of it? Yes, so I had to kind of look at now, looking forward. So I remember even in uni, I used to go out a lot. I was dating a manager of a certain very popular club where influencers used to go there. So those are my friends. But how they were carrying themselves with life, it's like, wababa, nini, getting them, this is their life. But for me, I was always like, these people are really not sharp. Because if you're exposing yourself like this right now, don't you think maybe at some point you'll want to be a CEO or a mother or something like that? So you have to do whatever you're doing right now, looking at what you want to do in the future. So for me, it's always been like that. I've always had to look for something that's valuable in the future to make it all worth it.
Tracy, you're so smart. I'm realizing you're living life with a lot of intentionality, something that someone like me probably doesn't have. I mean, I am intentional, but I don't think about things like that. So do you think you having sickle cell has made you this way?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you only have a certain amount of energy. So what am I using that energy on? So that's when now mabeste wanaanza kukuita mtiaji. Because you're telling them you're stupid for drinking. You're drinking cheap alcohol. Why don't you work hard on yourself as a man to afford quality alcohol?
Actually, let's talk. That's where I wanted you to. That's what I want to get into. So while your friends are having fun now, let's go back to that uni setting. Or even now, your friends are indulging in these reckless behaviors. Reckless. Kwa watu wengine ni very normal. Kwa watu wengine ni reckless. So are you also indulging? And how are you able to know that this is not beneficial? Because you see, when we don't have that awareness when we're younger, you're not thinking, okay, wewe ulikuwa unafikiria, mimi sikuwa nafikiria ati I want to be a CEO. Mimi sikuwa nafikiria hizo vitu. I was just thinking, can we have a good night? If we end up in Diani, fine.
Okay.
Tomorrow we wake up and continue. Even if we drink for another 7 days, fine. But I'm seeing you having a lot more restraint, a lot of intentionality. You're already having these thoughts that young, which is not something we do when we're that young, and we're impressionable. If it's we're going where, let's go. We're doing, let's do. I mean, there's so many things I did that even now when I look back, I'm like, what was I doing? But it's because I didn't have those checks and blocks. I didn't have anything telling me. I mean, of course, my parents, the church, blah, blah, blah. But like on a personal level, something that was stopping me, like, hey, I'm going to get sick if I drink like this. Or I'm going to get whatever. So what's the dynamics between you and your friendships, you and your relationships? And of course, unakamtiaji. Umekuja bash na wendo unakuja kutupolice ati cheap liquor. Girl, we're just trying to get high, not have all these my advices. So what was the dynamics between you and your friends at this time? And also I had asked, were you able to indulge in all these things that your peers are doing? Ama ulikuwa tu watching from a distance?
Okay, so early on, getting into uni, first year, second year, I would indulge. In fact, my room was the party room. For this to know, after class, nenda Galleria, you buy your drinks, kwa Tracy. Yeah, so I used to indulge. But now I started noticing it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay, for me, I usually measure. I'll say, okay, I have to do it at least once. And that once that I'll do it to the fullest.
Yes.
So that's what I used to do. Yes. Once I've done something to the fullest, now I'm able to start regulating and saying, now this doesn't work. You're 30 and you're drinking this alcohol. You're 50 bob. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. So just starting to have those conversations with people and even posting that. The fact that, honestly, maybe you haven't brought it up yet, but I'll speak about it because it relates with this kind of thinking, whereby you find institutions that are most supposed to be inclusive are actually not.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you find, like, for example, churches where everyone is supposed to be affected. That's the place you start finding judgment very early on. So how does it
show up? Yeah.
It looks like, for example, I've gone to church. I have a certain condition. You don't even know about that condition.
Say now sickle cell.
Oh, kona sickle cell. Tutakuombea, utapona. You already don't know about that condition. And I see it happening up to now. Let's say a girl enters with a short skirt in the church. Utamfunika. Let's say it's a prostitute. But the fact that umemfunika, have you helped her?
No.
In fact,
you've
now
given
she
her
won't
shame.
even open up.
Yeah.
And say whatever, is the problem. Or even right now you go into the church setting, a person with disability, let's say with a wheelchair, napata anasukumo uko mbele. Who told you that they want to be put up there at the front? Yeah. So it's quite unfortunate that you find these are the kind of treatment people are getting.
Do you think Sorry. Do you think it's intentional malice, or it's just ignorance? And how do you think then we can curb such issues? Because I think this shows up in grief as well. Yeah. Someone dies, you tell them it's okay, everything happens for a reason, you'll be fine. But it's like, shut up, my person just died. Why are you telling me everything happens for a reason? And this is something I see as well in the religious community as well. That's the kind of advice that they give. So maybe tell us, what's the appropriate way to approach persons living with disability in the sense of giving them encouragement? What are some of the things we can say and things we should never say? And then also, how do you think now we can handle that situation? Is it that sisi tu ni mafala atuelewi? Ama tu iyo kukwa fala si excuse anymore? Because now we have exposure, we have information at the touch of our hands. So how can we get around that?
Okay, thank you for the question. And to be honest, today I'm not going to be diplomatic and start saying, people are good at... It's ignorance. It is ignorance. Let me tell you why. Because, for example, when you come from that background of church and all of that, usually it's, if you've accepted Christ, then you're going to heaven. Everything will be okay. So what does that cause in a person? What does that cause in a person's mindset? It causes that feeling of, kujisikia sana, thinking that you are better than the other person, thinking that you're from a certain religion, the other one is a problem. It starts creating devices kind of perceptions in your mind, because now you think you're so okay in comparison to other people. I have Jesus, I have my money. Now, the energy that you're supposed to be using to solve matters, you're using it to look for problems.
Yes.
In society or in other people, which is now the problem. So if I come to you as a person with disability or with sickle cell, it does not mean that whatever you're doing is better than whatever I'm doing, or whatever your background was better than mine, or your God is better than my God. Yes. In fact, the God of the person who has a certain disability and they're living and thriving
is probably greater.
Yes.
Because this guy has beat all odds and he's still here.
Yeah, so people don't like to think like that. Because if you start now rationalizing and measuring yourself in that way, you start realizing that you're living a very simple life. A very simple life.
Yeah.
Where probably you base your value according to maybe the car you drive. I'm a range person, or maybe according to the alcohol you can kind of afford. I only drink single malt and whatever. Useless things. Why don't you use that money you're using on single malt? Or even, I usually see that people have this, they drive in a group, maybe Mercedes owners. Why are you driving as a group? Is there a cause behind it? Is there something you're impacting your community with it? If you're doing something, let it be impactful. Don't just do things for the sake of
Tracy,
showing
but
off.
maybe we just want to have fun.
You
And
can
we
have
want to
fun.
post on the gram so that you guys can feel Kiwaru. You don't have a Mercedes.
Exactly. So why are you interested in making someone feel Kiwaru? Because you just want to feed yourself and make that hole in yourself feel like, you're better. At least I'm doing something. At least I'm a CEO somewhere. At least I'm driving a certain car. No, let whatever position or blessing life or God has given you, let it be structural in such a way that you can say, from this at least, I know I'm helping a certain community. I'm helping certain wamamas somewhere with maybe cerebral palsy. Don't blind your eyes and make your life look so beautiful. That's how people start having life crisis, like midlife crisis and all of that. It's just out of that basic thing that you don't find value in yourself. You don't find that impact in yourself. There's nothing you're doing to improve the life of others. Human beings are made to support each other. Find something to do that you're supporting another person in need. Yeah, because you never know. Maybe in the next generation, it's your people who will be in need. Yeah.
That's very touching. I don't think many people are moving through life thinking like that, especially when, let me use the word blinded, when you're blinded by privilege. Even just the privilege of good health. Like on a normal day, I'm not thinking there's someone, don't roast me for this, guys, but I'm not moving around life thinking there's people with sickle cell, unless I see someone there begging, then now I'll be like, okay, wacha nimwachie ashu, nimwachie ka 20 bob. But then I like that you're bringing the perspective of we need to be aware, like we can't be blinded.
Yeah.
We have the information, we know, so we should take initiative to be a bit more present, even towards other people. That's so interesting. I don't think, yeah.
And if you're not working on your karma, trust and believe in future, you will have a problem. Yeah, you will have a problem. You'll have a lifestyle disease. You know how people say that, ini kama it was a curse or something like that, or alirushiwa. No, it's just how you feel about yourself.
Yes.
If you, as a person who has certain privileges, maybe in certain office or whatever, you're not doing something to give back, trust me, all that energy will come back to you negatively. People should work on their karma.
Oh my goodness. So now in adulthood, you're doing a lot of great things. Tell us a little bit about Crimson Courage, what it is and what it is you guys are doing over there.
Okay, Crimson Courage started as a support group between sickle cell warriors and our parents, or they're called caregivers. Because if you're a parent with a person who has a condition, you're not just a parent. You're now a caregiver.
Yes.
So it was basically about us. How do we figure out what to do together to support each other and to break the stigma and to create awareness about like common situations that all of us are facing. So that's how we ended up opening a podcast where we speak about lived experiences. So the kind of guest you'll get on Crimson Courage is someone who has maybe a disability, a chronic health illness, or a genetic condition, meaning their perception of life is completely different from that of a regular person. Yeah, so just being able to have those open conversations that at least are able to break the stigmas that we have and biases that people have. Yeah.
And how is it going? Do you feel like you're bridging the gap? Do you feel like you're with the platform you have that it's making changes and this impact that you're actually talking about?
It's a necessary conversation. The impact, I believe, even in whatever you're doing, is not right now. It's in the future. It's in at least someone who was a teenager being able to randomly land on YouTube on a video of a person who maybe has autism or a person who has sickle cell, and being able to see, oh, it's not just me. I'm not the problem.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not a curse, or I'm not, something that is just a cause of strain in my family. So that's the kind of impact I think about. People who have watched the video, who have gone to get their genotype test, that is a win for me.
Yes.
Even if it's less than 100, that is already a win for me.
Even 2 people is amazing.
Because it only takes 2 to make a child with sickle cell. Yes. So that's the kind of impact I look at. And the kind of community impact that I also want to have is we have a project. Back at home in Siaya, we have a building. It's already ready. So the community have really asked for us to be able to do like a fundraising to equip it to be a clinic. So next year we are having a charity golf, the first ever charity golf that the proceeds go to sickle cell, so that we can buy equipments to at least open up a center in Siaya where we'll have genotype testing, genetic counseling, follow-up of the children in hospital. The hospital records really matter.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
keep the history.
Yeah, that's why a lot of children don't make it past the age of 5 because you don't know the condition. Probably unakimbiza mtoto kwa mganga na mganga mwingine. Your auntie is telling you this, your grandmother is telling you this. This creates a lot of strife within the family, where you find even one of the parents has to maybe leave their job. So you find already it can lead to poverty. You see, those are the kind of effects that it's creating in areas that are impacted like Siaya. Yeah, where if you find already a home does not have like income because of a certain condition, that's already a generational curse.
Yes.
So these are the kind of things we're trying to break with that clinic, and at least try and sensitize people to think about it positively, to understand it, and to know that you can manage and live a healthy life despite. Yeah.
So what does managing look like? How do you manage sickle cell? Because from what you've told me, this is something that you just go through forever in life. But how do you manage it? How do you stay making sure that you're not triggering the stress, that you're staying healthy, that you're not getting all these other complications that are coming from you having sickle cell?
So if you're managing or living with sickle cell, don't look at it as a job. Like already you see I'm sipping water. I'm already managing. It's not a job. Look at it as a lifestyle. In my life, I don't take like a lot of maybe junk food. So it's normal for me to take greens, mboga kienyeji. That's already my lifestyle. It doesn't mean I'm managing. Or it means
you're just living.
Yes, I'm just living.
Yeah.
So you just have to learn how to live right. Are you taking your medication? Are you taking your water? Are you managing your mental health? Do you know how to do breathing exercises to help with increasing the level of oxygen in your body? What is your general outlook of life? Because let me be honest with you. If you believe that utakuwa unaumwa, trust me, your mind will trigger your body. And you'll always be in pain. and you'll always be in pain, and that's the kind of life you live. Not a good quality life. So just accept yourself, number one. Number two, do what works for you. Manage in the way that helps you manage. There's some people, they don't like just drinking normal water. Just add a few drops of, like, whatever will make the water more suitable for you. If you don't like mbogas, maybe you like juicing. So just go with what works for you. Make sure you're just incorporating whatever you need to do to live a thriving life, because you can thrive despite anything. Yeah, and I always look at people, I'm like, what? You're thriving despite that?
Yeah.
There's even this influencer who has no arms and legs. And he was a guy. Now she is transgender. So I'm like, you're transgender?
On
you
top
have
of
no
this?
arms and legs?
Yes.
But you're an influencer, and
you can be anything.
You can be anything. You just have to work on your mindset. Work on your mindset.
And are you on medication consistently forever?
Yes. So you have to manage with sickle cell because it's a lifelong condition. So this means you have to make sure your iron is in check. So we take folic acid. Then
how often? Daily?
Daily. Then there's a medication called hydroxyurea. This helps the bone marrow to create more fetal hemoglobin so that you can have more support. But for me, honestly, I prefer to manage with my diet and my holistic methods. And they've been working for me for years. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you manage the pain? Do you have to be in hospital all the time you get the crisis, or what does that look like? Are you popping a mara moja? What happens when you get the pain crisis?
So since it's a condition that someone lives with, you get to understand your triggers. So like, let's say if I'm going to have pain 2 days from now, today I can already start seeing, hey, maybe I'm a bit tired. So already I can start adjusting early on. I'll say, okay, let me just cancel that meeting on Friday. I need to take the time on myself. Maybe I've not been eating well. Let me eat well for the next 2 days. Or maybe my periods are coming and I was not aware. So now I have to do this and that. So I'm able to understand my body more. And that's one of the gifts of growing older. You're able to understand more your triggers. You're able to understand more. This works for me. This does not work for me. When I eat this, I'm not okay. When I eat that, I'm not okay. So for me, just having a lot of foods high in iron phosphates, because there's a time I went through those, those loopholes. What are they called? Rabbit holes. And I learned about Dr. Sebi. And saw that Dr. Sebi was healing sickle cell. So I looked at it and I just saw that his definition of sickle cell is a lack of iron phosphates in the body. Then I started implementing that kind of diet that is as high as I can be in iron phosphates. And it has worked for me.
Okay.
It has plus positive thinking.
Yes.
If you're negative, whatever bad thing you're thinking will happen. If you're always walking around thinking, they'll steal my phone. Utaibiwa.
Yeah.
In fact, they'll slap you vibaya tena sana while taking you back.
Wakupake mafi town. Oh my God. Okay, so I like that. I had a question in my head na inanipotea. I've forgotten hiyo imeenda. Lakini I like that you're able to answer the questions from your feelings more than things that we learn online, because even preparing for this topic, I went and read stuff. But it's so different when you get to hear it from someone's actual experiences and the things that they're going through on a daily life. So how is this affecting your, let's say, dating, or let's say your job, or let's say things you have to show up to? Because you were supposed to come on the podcast last month.
Yeah.
But you fell unwell and you weren't able to come. And then we canceled like a couple times after that again. Yeah. So do you have to disclose all the time? Like, do you find yourself having to explain all the time everywhere you... Unajua, siwezi kuja hiyo meeting juu. period yangu inaanza na sasa kwa sababu in 2 days ndakuwa siwezi kuja job kwa sababu siwezi fanya Pole Roberta says, do you find yourself having to explain consistently? And is that tiring you? Is that exhausting you? Or do you end up curating an environment of people who already are aware, so they make your life easier and you don't have to keep repeating why you didn't show up? But I've never really seen you not show up for things. You're always showing up when you say you will show up. So how do you navigate that? I'm starting to see that a lot of the decisions you make in your life have to circle back to the fact that you're living with sickle cell. So how does that affect your relationships, your friendships, your work, your school, your business, all the things that you're doing outside yourself? Yeah.
It really impacts everything, to be honest, because I'm not explaining myself to everybody, and the answer someone gets depends on how they've asked it. So if someone asks me, like, for example, in a negative way, why are your eyes yellow? Nitakujibu hivyo venye you brought the question. But when it comes to friends, there are those ones who kind of understand. There are those ones who avoid. So it's not like sickle cell is now at the forefront of every relationship that I have. But in those ones that it's necessary, like let's say, for example, work, at least I'm able to disclose or explain. Yes.
Do you think people take it as an excuse? Or do you think people are usually very understanding?
Let me tell you. This time I was working for a certain magazine after I finished my attachment at Makadara Law Courts. So this editor for this magazine did not like me. She used to just say I'm pretending. Ati, Tracy, sick again. Anajifanya. So sometimes even, I remember there's a time during the day I was not feeling okay, but in the evening there was those events. And I went for those events. So of course, there's that negativity of, haezi kuja job, but she'll go for the event, you know. So it just depends on a person, whether they want to understand or not. And I have to now learn how to speak up for myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. And do you disclose when you get into relationships? Do you think it matters? And how long after?
It depends. And it depends with how the person approaches you. Sometimes you can just tell them upfront. Sometimes if they're avoidant, you just give them that time to be comfortable. So for me, I just measure someone according to how they present themselves. Because if I use a one fits all, it will not.
Okay.
It won't work.
You know, I love how, leading to the end of this episode, you've made me understand better, especially why sickle cell anemia is considered a disability. You've called it a blood disability. Because while it's hindering you from living a regular life, like there's so many things around it as well that you have to think about. But something that strikes me consistently that I got even from the episode I recorded with Ochuka is living with cancer. So it's not the same, but it's, you're managing an illness consistently every day that you wake up. Something I'm realizing is the intentionality that you guys have. Maybe this is something us regular folk need to borrow from the lessons. Like I'm seeing your friendships, the things you attend, the places you go. You really have to think, will it stress me? Nah, I'm not going. Yeah. Will she make me? Nah, I'm not talking to her. Will it annoy me? Nah, I don't want to be part of that. So there's a lot of intentionality going on in your friend relationships at large. And that's something I think I'm learning. But maybe before we end the episode, is there something that you'd like to talk about that you think we've not mentioned in line with anemia or, something, anything?
I think we've covered all bases. Yeah. Just that maybe we didn't go deep into the dating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember there was a point where I dated someone who felt bad about me having sickle cell. And I've dated someone who also was really supportive. They would even carry an extra bottle of water for me and all of that. So it's all about intentionality.
Mgani ndo anabamba? Ule mwenye ana feel pity ama huyu mwenye ana which one? How do you want to be treated? Oh, and you didn't answer my question for what are the things you think we shouldn't say to you? even if we're just being curious. And now in this dating situation, do you feel bad when people pity you? What do you want? Should I just treat you like a normal, regular? I hope I don't botch the words. Guys, please, disclaimer. You know what? If you know what I mean, don't give me a hard time in the comments.
The important thing is I know what you
mean. Tell me, you're being so rude. I promise I'm not. I promise I'm trying to. I'm also learning. This is a learning process. So how do you think you want to be addressed and treated? Should you be treated with like a regular person, or do you want me to put in my mind that Tracy has sickle cell, so I need to constantly think of her? Or what are the dynamics around that?
So for me, as I grew older, it's more about speaking up. If you don't speak up, people won't know. For example, if I walk into a room and the AC is too high, it's cold, I'll just tell them, can you please reduce the level of the AC. Yeah. It's all about that. And when it comes to like a question that someone asks me, depends on the tone. The tone is what matters. Because I've come to realize that people have different awarenesses of life. People are living very differently. So people don't know a lot of things. And the problem is that they don't know. The problem is that they are not willing to find out. So
they don't even know that they don't know.
So just be inquisitive, be empathetic with people. There's a difference between being a woye and empathetic.
What's the difference?
Okay, so let's say something happens to you, then I'm coming like, sasa utafanya nini?
Wasa utadu?
Utafanya nini? Si unapitia mambo mingi sana.
Maisha yako ni ngumu.
Yeah, maisha yako ni ngumu. Yeah, people know the difference. Tutakuombea. Tutakuombea inatumikanga vibaya sana. I don't like it. Tutakuombea.
Utapona.
Now that is being like sympathetic. Is it called sympathy?
Yes. Sympathy, yeah.
Sympathy is not nice if this is a person that you want to keep a relationship with. Because you can't look at a person who's blind and be like, woye. Sasa na venye leo kunajua. Utajua.
Na venye una pesa. Woye. Utakula nini?
Sasa umefika aje hapa. Umepanda matatu. Doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that you're just being a idiotic person. That's a witch kind of heart. Yeah, so being empathetic means you want to understand. You know the kind of questions you're asking me. It's not bad questions. It's just because you're not used to asking such questions. But those are the kind of questions that should be asked, with even follow-ups of wanting to help.
Yes.
Not follow-ups of
Udaku.
Wanting to segregate or Rudaku. Like, I remember there's a time a relative of mine, we met in Dala, then they were like, "Woi, we bado macho yako inakwanga yellow." You understand? But if they came and they were like, your eyes seem a bit jaundiced.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Then I would have explained maybe the trip was too long. Maybe I'm dehydrated. Or maybe I should try and eat this. I'll feel better in the morning. You see, that's the difference between sympathy.
Now I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Oh, Tracy, you have been lovely this episode. I've learned so much, and I think more than anything, I'm just taking the humanness, the aspect of humanness from this conversation, to just basically treat you like a human being, to stop treating you like you're less than in any way, whether it's in religion or it's even in the workplace or in a relationship or as a friend, to just treat you as I would someone I love, not to be less than or a bit more extra. Sasa ndo inaanza kukua hiyo sympathy.
Yeah, and I also have hacks. Once I find that a person generally is prejudiced against something, I already know this is a person I should not waste my energy on.
Something, do you mean something, anything, or like something in particular?
Anything in particular, mostly. If they're too rigid about it, especially these things that cause a lot of divisive kind of conversations,
Yes.
Gender,
Politics,
religion, politics. Yeah, if I find that you're too left,
Rigid.
yes, there's no point in me interacting with you.
Yeah.
I'll just let you speak.
Too
then
left or too right?
I don't know. Is
Too-
it too
I
left
think
or
too right.
Yes.
Yeah.
To where you think that this is not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
This is
Those
the
are the
wrong
kind of
thing.
people who judge other people.
Yes,
like,
those are the kind of people who
we are not supposed to
judge.
be like this. This is how we do things. Okay,
Yeah, that's the person who will come and tell you, I'll pray for you.
That those are the religious conservatives, actually, the right-wing people.
Yes. And there's nothing as bad as a right-wing religious person, because they'll use the name Jesus to
persecute
validate.
you.
Yes.
And to
It's
validate
not
their
nice.
injustices.
It's not nice.
Oh, Mungu alisema kwa Biblia. Hey, I'd like to end this conversation here. Do you have any question for me? It can be about anything.
Okay. What kind of, since I'm single,
Okay.
and you're a relationship expert
Yeah.
or sex and relationship expert, what kind of guy do you think would be great for me?
That's Tracy. You know,
Imagine you're recommending your friend or something like that. Which kind of friend would you bring?
I think if you know me on a personal level, you'd know I'd say a very rich man.
Okay.
Because that is usually my baseline. Kama hakuna pesa kwanza.
Yes. Alipia red cell exchange.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
Do you want me to hook you up with someone?
Sure, if they're rich.
You'd be
why
open up to
not?
that?
Yes.
Of course, rich and all these other things are there. Rich
And
is just the bare
goal-oriented,
minimum.
because I don't go into relationships focused on love.
Yeah.
I go into relationships focused on achievement of goal. Can I support you to be a better person? Can they support me to be a better person?
I have the right person for you. I'll tell you about him after this.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me,
Thank
Tracy.
you
Thank you
too.
for making time. You know, I know how much it means for you to go the extra way out to, you know, come out of your day and come here and talk to me for an hour. I hope guys have learned as much as I have. I mean, I have learned. Now I have a glimpse into the inside of your world and what that looks like. And I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Utarudi tena.
Tena.
So where can we find you on social media?
Just look for Crimson Courage on TikTok, on YouTube. You'll find my conversations there. And look forward to it and learn. Yeah, just watch it with the aspect of learning. If you come out of the episode having known something different or having known a different approach that you should take, for me, it's a win. I don't look at views or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, just that impact of one person.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah.
You're such a lovely person. Asanteni, thank you. Jagero told me to stop speaking Kiswahili. Thank you so much for joining me throughout the hour here on Heartfelt with Bobbie. I have been your host, Robertta Bobbie, joined by Tracy Achieng. And today we have been discussing sickle cell. So please ask us all the questions you have. I will be bringing Tracy back because I need to have another follow-up conversation with her. She'll come back and tell you if the hookup with the new boyfriend has worked out. Ama kama nilimchezesha malenge.
I'll tell the truth.
But other than that, I have been Nisha Sema. I have been your host. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Kwaheri.
Bye.